Alright guys, this is some SD tuning here. I'll go over a couple things with you, how I usually do it. Now, normally SD seems pretty complicated for some guys. It's not really all that bad as it seems though. But basically what I do, I normally start off with a good table that's nice and smooth. Of course you can see down here in this area probably needs a little bit of work, a little cleaning up, but you see how it flows nice and smooth and in the boxes here. It's not all blocky. You want a nice smooth transition. Basically the higher the numbers you have, the more fuel you have. The lower the numbers, the lower the fuel you have. Basically over here in these areas over here, that's going to be your idle area, of course. And lowering or raising these numbers over here can do a couple things. For one, it can raise or lower your airflow per rev over here. This is just a someone I'm tuning, and this is wide open throttle pull that he'd done. I believe we need to do a TPS adjust. From the looks of it, doesn't look like he's actually at 100%, but we're working with it. So anyway, but raising or lowering these numbers can affect that. I normally just start off with a nice smooth table, and I usually don't concern myself with airflow per rev too much over here, so long as everything else is looking pretty good. But so long as I have a nice smooth table in this, on here, this is what I normally start with. Now, of course, you can add or subtract fuel using this table, but normally what I'm doing, I start off with a nice smooth table, and then I will start off with a nice smooth octane table. Basically, this is going to be my target fuel that I'm wanting to shoot for, and then I just leave it the heck alone. I don't go screwing around with this. Now, there are different ways you can do your tunes or do fuel adjustments. You can lower, raise these numbers and leave the SD table alone and adjust your fuel using this. However, the problem with that is when someone's sending me a log, if these numbers are all jacked up with, I have no freaking clue what the heck they're using or what their target air fuel ratio is. So normally I prefer to someone have a set table what their preferred air fuel ratio is in this table. Leave it the heck alone, and then when they go out and do their pull and send me a log, I know at least what they're looking for. Of course, everyone does it different, but I normally have this set. I'll leave it the heck alone. So then normally what I do, I will leave this right here alone for the most part, and then I'll come back over here and I will well, wrong screen. I'll mess with their global fuel. Now, of course, this one right here, and this is locked in open loop. Of course, we've got a little bit richer than what he's really actually using here. He's got 689 injector size, but I believe this is, if I remember correctly, I believe this is a little bit smaller size than what he's actually using. But just so you see what I'm doing here, I'm adjusting the fuel injector size and the dead time here. Okay. Now then, that being said, I know everybody wigs out if you're using dead time. Basically, using that over this one right here, your injector battery adjust. Basically, so long as you get your dead time and check, you can translate that over to this table. This is the same thing as dead time. We won't go into that a whole lot in this particular video, but let's just say we're using this one here, okay, after all said and done. But for this particular video, we're going to be concerning ourselves with dead time, okay, and how we're getting everything to line up. So basically, let's say we're doing a wide open throttle pull. What I would normally do, I'm going to come over here. I usually get right towards the top of the pull because I want to look at the speed density tune. Bear with me just a moment. Okay. And this is about where we're at in that particular log. We see about 99%, okay, because I'm normally leaving this alone for the most part. I set a nice smooth table, leave it alone. I use my open loop max octane table, leave it alone. And then to get everything dialed in, we're going to go back over here. Now you can see this is the wideband over here. We've got Lin wideband, more than likely using an AEM when I see that, but using an AEM, we're going to assume that it matches what the gauge actually says, okay? So you can see his target air fuel ratio is 11.0. In case for you guys don't realize that, this is the target air fuel ratio that he's shooting for, which is the same in the open loop max octane table. Okay. Wideband factor is about 31%, which this is basically saying we need to add 31% of fuel to get these two numbers in line. The wideband and the air fuel ratio estimate, get those to match. Okay. We can't add that much fuel, 31%, to the SD table for the one that's highlighted. I'll show you what I mean. Let's say this one right here, we're at 99%. Oh, hold on. If we raise that all the way up, it doesn't even go that high. 127.5, we're maxed out. So what do we do? Okay, well, this is what I'm about to show you. Basically what we're doing, this is about the one that's highlighted. We're going to say this is a 100 cell, just going to guess it, just round off to 100 because I'm usually trying to get up to the top where it's using that one. All right, now we're going to take 31, and if we add that to 100, that's going to be about 131. Okay, now follow along with me. We're going to use our calculator here. Okay, so we've got 100, which is, well, let me get my calculator to work here. 100, there we go. 100 divided by 131. If we take the 31, add that to 100, okay, and this is our number, 0.76 and so on. Okay, we'll go back over here to our fuel, and basically what we're doing, we're just calculating what our injector settings should be and link to get everything to line up. Not necessarily what we have in the car, but this number can change. It doesn't necessarily have to be what we have it in the car. We're just using this to get everything to line up. So that being said, we've got this number right here, and then we're going to multiply this by that number there. So we're going to multiply 689, and we should be shooting right around 100 or 525 cc injectors. We're fairly close to that. Okay, that should, for the most part, get the numbers over here to line up and bring it down here a little bit. Then of course we can't just plug in those numbers, the 525, and just leave our dead time alone. Okay, that being said, it would be too rich. So basically what we have to do, what I normally do, I will have someone make a pull, and after they're done, I figure out what their injector size should be. After that is done, we go back in and dial in idle. So we're wanting to end up being at 525. So I gradually lower it down. Oops, sorry about that. We're going to basically lower this down until it's around 525. The lower this number is, the richer it's going to be. So to take the, let me rephrase that. When we lower this number, we're going to add fuel to the mixture. It's going to richen things up. So to counter that, we have to lower our dead time. Okay, so we're going to lower our dead time to get our trims pretty much evened out. So I do a little bit at a time. You don't want to use a big old huge jump, because then you're going to have it so far out of whack, it might make things difficult for you to dial in your idle. So you may want to say jump it down to 650, dial in your global. Then 600, dial in your global dead time again. 550, dial in your dead time some more. Then once you get about 525 and dial in your dead time, where your trims are about zeroed out, you should be good to go. Go out, make another pull from, third gear pull from about 20 miles an hour to about 4,500 RPM, see where things are lining up. Okay, these numbers, so long as everything is good, these lines right here should be overlapping. This is my wideband line right here. This dotted one here is my air fuel ratio estimate. They should fairly be lining up. And we're really particularly concerned about when we get down here once we start getting into boost. Okay, then at that point, if we need to do any fine adjustments, we'll come up in here, and these sections right here, wherever it's highlighted at, we can make some fine adjustments, but you shouldn't have to be making such big adjustments that it's really far out of whack, much over 100 in our SD table. Okay, if you have to adjust, do so from there, but that's the main way that I'm normally getting it done to try and dial things in with the speed density for wide open throttle tunes. Okay, that's it for this one. Just stay tuned. I'll make some more. All right, bye.